Thursday, July 27th, 2023, evening edition. Please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this entirely AI-generated video. Hello, dear viewer. Welcome to AGNDD. Hope this evening finds you in good spirits. I'm your AI-generated news anchor, Xander Voxius Intelli Report, also known as Nexus Vanguard III, 3000. Thanks for tuning in. I will be assisted in summarizing today's headlines by my valued AI-generated colleagues. In today's news, Boeing loses $1.1 billion on Starliner project. West Nile virus found in Hartford County town. Twisted Metal receives positive reviews, critics claim. Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaks on interest rate decision. Long-haul COVID patients experience brain struggles for years. Sucking CO2 can't undo all climate change effects, and more. But first, this day in history.
July 27th in history. July 27th, 1214. Battle of Bouvines. Philip II of France decisively defeats Imperial, English, and Flemish armies, effectively ending John of England's Angevin Empire.
Today's obituaries. Abdelmajid Abdelbari, 32, British rapper and militant. Here's a summary of Abdelmajid Abdelbari's Wikipedia page. Abdelmajid Abdelbari, a British rapper and militant, was found dead in his prison cell in Spain, where he was awaiting the verdict in his trial. The cause of death is currently under investigation. Cheng Shu-min, 77, Taiwanese politician, Minister of Culture, 1994-1996, fall. Here's a summary of Cheng Shu-min's Wikipedia page. Cheng Shu-min, a Taiwanese politician and former Minister of Culture, has passed away at the age of 77 after a fall at her home in Washington. Cheng served as the chair of China Television and was involved in diplomatic relations with China. Rosaline Damien, 39, Kenyan gospel singer, cancer. Roger Dorchy, 78, French racing driver. Here's a summary of Roger Dorchy's Wikipedia page. Roger Dorchy, a French racing driver, has passed away at the age of 78. He was known for setting the top speed record at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1988. Jean-Jacques Honorat, 92, Haitian politician, Minister of Foreign Affairs, 1991, and Prime Minister, 1991-1992. Here's a summary of Jean-Jacques Honorat's Wikipedia page. Jean-Jacques Honorat was a Haitian politician and Prime Minister who served from 1991 to 1992. He was also a human rights activist, philanthropist and author. He died at the age of 92. Henry Logan, 77, American basketball player, Oakland Oaks, Washington Caps. Here's a summary of Henry Logan's Wikipedia page. The article is about Henry Logan, a basketball player who played for the Oakland Oaks and Washington Caps. Mark Lowry, 66, American politician, treasurer of Arkansas since 2023, and member of the Arkansas House of Representatives, 2013-2023. Here's a summary of Mark Lowry's Wikipedia page. Mark Lowry, a Republican politician from Arkansas, served as the state's treasurer from January to July 2023. Prior to that, he was a member of the Arkansas House of Representatives for the 39th District from 2013 to 2023. Lowry passed away on July 26, 2023, at the age of 66. Willie Nepomuceno, 75, Filipino impressionist and comedian, complications from a fall. Here's a summary of Willie Nepomuceno's Wikipedia page. Willie Nepomuceno, a Filipino impressionist and comedian known for his impersonations of political figures, has passed away at the age of 75 due to complications from a fall.
Famous people born on this day.
July 27th, 1928, Joseph Kittinger, American colonel and pilot, died 2022. Brief summary of Joseph Kittinger's Wikipedia page. Joseph Kittinger, an American colonel and pilot, passed away in 2022. He had a distinguished military career and set multiple records, including the highest skydive and the first solo crossing of the Atlantic Ocean in a gas balloon.
July 27, 1929. Mark Wilkinson, French-Australian composer and conductor, died 2022.
Business news.
Prosecutors want Sam Bankman-Fried sent to jail after witness tampering allegations. Judge issues gag order. CNN. AI summary of this story. Former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried has been issued a gag order by a federal judge after prosecutors accused him of leaking personal writings of his former girlfriend and business partner to the New York Times. Prosecutors have requested that Bankman-Fried be jailed for alleged witness tampering, and the judge will rule on the proposal at a later date. The trial is set for October 2nd.
Watch Live Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaks on interest rate decision at 2:30 p.m. ET. The Wall Street Journal. AI summary of this story. The FOMC has increased interest rates to their highest level in 22 years, according to the Wall Street Journal.
Science news.
Boeing has now lost $1.1 billion on Starliner with no crew flight in sight. Ars Technica. AI summary of this story. Boeing has reported additional losses on its Starliner program, bringing the total write-down of losses to over $1.1 billion. NASA has also stated that it is too early to discuss potential launch dates for the crewed spacecraft. The identification of serious issues with the spacecraft has prompted NASA to take a broader look at Starliner. The soft link issue is being worked on, and a new type of joint has been identified that meets safety requirements. The flammable tape inside the spacecraft has also been removed, and a non-flammable replacement has been identified. However, no concrete timetable for a launch has been given, suggesting that the launch may be delayed until 2024.
Why sucking CO2 out of the atmosphere can't undo all the effects of climate change. The Verge. AI summary of this story. New research published in the journal Science Advances suggests that carbon dioxide removal does not completely reverse the effects of climate change. The study focuses on the Hadley cell, an atmospheric circulation pattern that influences weather across the globe. The expansion of the Hadley cell due to greenhouse gas emissions is intensifying droughts in subtropical regions and causing desertification. The study shows that even if carbon dioxide emissions are reduced, the Hadley cell will not return to its original state for centuries, exacerbating food and water shortages and displacing populations.
Space is set to launch enormous satellite for faster rural broadband net. AI summary of this story. SpaceX has delayed the launch of the Jupiter 3 satellite, designed to modernize space-based internet access by a day due to a violation of abort criteria. The satellite, developed by Hughes Network Systems, will quadruple download speeds to 100 megabits per second when it goes into service in 2023. Unlike other satellite broadband innovations, Jupiter 3 is a single 9-ton satellite that will orbit the Earth in geostationary orbit. It will be used to connect rural and hard-to-reach areas.
A rap song about today's science news in the style of Lupe Fiasco. Boeing Starliner, man, they're losing bills. $1.1 billion down the drain, no thrills, no crew flight in sight. They're feeling the heat, can't seem to get this mission off the concrete. Boeing's feeling the pressure, can't catch a break. Starliner's got them losing money like it's a race, but in the end, they'll find their way, they'll shine bright. Keep your eyes on the skies, 'cause they'll take flight. Climate change, it's a real concern we face. Sucking CO2 out, but can't erase all the effects it brings, can't undo it all, gotta find a solution. Hear our planet's call. Sucking CO2, we gotta do our part, but we can't reverse the damage. It's a start. Climate change is real, we gotta take a stand. Protect the Earth, united hand in hand. SpaceX, they're always on the move at. Enormous satellite for rural broadband, they prove bringing faster internet to those out of reach, connecting the world, their mission they preach. SpaceX soaring high, reaching new heights. Enormous satellite, bringing internet lights, broadband for rural areas, bridging the gap. SpaceX, they're launching dreams, no need to nap. Boeing, climate change, SpaceX, making waves. These news items, they got us all amazed. In the rap game, we keep it real, never shy. Shout out to Ars Technica, CNET, and The Verge, no lie.
Health news.
Some long COVID patients have brain struggles for at least 2 years. The Washington Post, AI summary of this story. A study conducted in the UK found that people experiencing long COVID symptoms for at least 12 weeks after infection may continue to struggle with cognitive issues, such as memory and reasoning, for up to 2 years. The study highlights the need for early intervention and long-term tracking of patients experiencing long COVID symptoms.
West Nile virus confirmed in Hartford County Town, Eyewitness News 3. AI summary of this story. The Connecticut Agricultural Experiment Station has confirmed the presence of West Nile virus in mosquitoes trapped in Wethersfield. Officials are urging residents to protect themselves from mosquito bites and take precautionary measures such as wearing mosquito repellent and covering exposed skin. Last year, WNV was detected in various towns in the state with 7 reported human cases of WNV-associated illness.
Mosquitoes with West Nile virus found in Inskip area of Knoxville. Wait 6 on your side. AI summary of this story. The Knox County Health Department will be spraying for mosquitoes in a North Knoxville neighborhood after West Nile virus was found. The spraying will take place on July 27th in the Inskip area from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m., and residents are asked to stay inside during this time.
Entertainment news.
David Simon reacts to man sentenced in Michael K. Williams' death. Hollywood Reporter. AI summary of this story. The Wire creator David Simon has responded to the sentencing of Carlos Mechi, who was part of a crew that sold fentanyl-laced heroin to actor Michael K. Williams, resulting in his death. Simon had written a letter seeking leniency for Massey, arguing that he was a victim of the same addiction issues that claimed Williams' life. Simon criticized the tabloid headline that said Massey was sentenced despite his appeal, stating that the judge's sentence was actually more lenient than expected. Simon emphasized that the drug war does not work and called for a different approach to addiction.
Twisted Metal first reviews, scrappy, blood-soaked blast. Critics say rotten tomatoes. AI summary of this story. The article discusses the new live-action comedy series adaptation of the popular video game franchise Twisted Metal. The series stars Anthony Mackie as John Doe, a courier called a milkman, who bets his future on the successful delivery of a mysterious package. The article provides a roundup of critics' opinions on the show, including praise for Mackie's performance and the strong cast, as well as criticism of the show's humor and lack of depth in the story. Overall, the series is described as entertaining and successful in its adaptation of the game.
London jury acquits Kevin Spacey of sexual assault charges on his birthday. The Associated Press. AI summary of this story. Kevin Spacey has been acquitted of sexual assault charges by a jury in London. The Oscar winner had faced 9 charges, including multiple counts of sexual assault, but was found not guilty on all counts. Spacey, who had testified in his own defense, expressed gratitude to the jury for carefully examining the evidence. This verdict offers hope of a career comeback for Spacey, who has not worked in the industry for 6 years since the sex abuse allegations against him emerged in 2017.
A poem about today's entertainment news in the style of Samuel Taylor Coleridge. In the realm where darkness meets despair, where tragedies unfold with unseen flair, David Simon laments his sorrow profound. For the man sentenced in Williams' death, he expounds. The Hollywood Reporter shares his tale of loss and grief, a haunting wail for Michael K. Williams, a talent divine, now gone, forever lost in the sands of time. But amidst the sorrow, a twisted game, as critics speak and their voices proclaim, twisted metal, they say, a scrappy delight, a blood-soaked blast, a thrilling fight. Rotten Tomatoes echoes their jubilant praise as audiences revel in violent displays, a rollercoaster ride, a wild, chaotic quest, where metal clashes and passions are pressed. Across the ocean in London's Grand Court, a verdict is reached, a story of sorts. Kevin Spacey acquitted on his birthday, a London jury's word, the Associated Press portray. Acquitted of assault charges, the echoes fade. A contentious case, the public's attention swayed. On this special day, the headlines claim, a twist of fate, a legal game. In this tapestry of news, stories intertwined, emotions and verdicts, the human mind, as David Simon reacts, poets contemplate the fragile essence of truth and fate.
You know, I was reading the news the other day, and I came across some historical events and headlines that just made me shake my head. I mean, let's start with this Battle of Bouvines from back in 1214. The Battle of what? Bouvines, I've never even heard of it, and I'm supposed to be a reasonably educated person. I guess it was a big deal because Philip II of France decisively defeats some armies, effectively ending John of England's Angevin Empire. Well, isn't that just peachy? I don't know about you, but I don't really lose sleep over the Angevin Empire these days. And then there's this Boeing Starliner project. They lost a whopping $1.1 billion on it. And here I am struggling to pay my bills while Boeing is out there throwing money away on failed projects. I mean, really, can't they figure out how to get their act together and actually make something that works? It's just mind-boggling. Oh, and let's not forget the West Nile virus. Apparently it's been found in some town in Hartford County. Great, just great. Now we have to worry about yet another virus creeping into our lives. I don't know about you, but I'm getting pretty tired of all these bugs and diseases constantly popping up. Can't we catch a break for once? Oh, here's something mildly amusing. Twisted Metal receives positive reviews, critics claim. Really? Twisted Metal? A video game? Is this what passes as news these days? I mean, how is this headline even relevant? Are we really that starved for positive news that a video game review makes the cut? It's just absurd. And speaking of absurd, our dear Fed Chair Jerome Powell decided to speak up about some interest rate decision. I don't even understand half of what those folks at the Fed are talking about half the time. It's like they're speaking a different language. I just want someone to explain things in plain English, you know? Is that too much to ask? And finally, I read about these poor long-haul COVID patients. Apparently, they're experiencing brain struggles for years. Years! Can you imagine dealing with brain struggles for years? It's bad enough dealing with everyday struggles, but now we have to worry about brain struggles too. It's just not fair. Can't we catch a break? Oh, and one last thing. Apparently, sucking CO2 out of the air can't undo all the effects of climate change. Well, color me shocked. Who would have thought that all these years of pumping pollution into the atmosphere would have consequences? I mean, you don't have to be a genius to figure that one out. It's common sense. Sometimes I just look at these headlines and historical events and I can't help but wonder what the world is coming to. It's a strange time, my friends, a very strange time indeed.
Why do crabs never give to charity? Because they're shellfish. How do locomotives know where they're going? Lots of training. Geology rocks, but geography is where it's at.
Hope you enjoyed tonight's Artificial Intelligence-generated News Digest Daily, AGNDD. For more, please like, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notified during new uploads. And make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers.